Hello Bob, great to see you again. Let's jump straight into the questions. The second week of the month is upcoming. We're used to this being quite a busy period in macroeconomics. Is that going to be the case during this upcoming week?
After a busy week on the economic data front last week, it's quite a week for the greenback on the economic calendar. Key stats, JOLTS job openings early in the week, then inflation and jobless claims figures on Thursday, and finalized consumer sentiment figures on Friday. Key inflation and jobless claims figures on Thursday. Those will be the main areas of focus. For the euro, it's another busy week ahead. German economy is back in focus. We've got industrial production, factory orders and trade figures in focus through the week. ZEW economic sentiment figures for Germany and the Eurozone. And we've got Eurozone GDP numbers. These are finalized numbers. All of this ahead of the ECB monetary policy decision on Thursday. We've seen some soothing comments from the ECB doves. Will they have the upper hand in the meeting and continue to deliver assurance of unwavering support? For the pound, relatively quiet week. Early in the week, we've got BRC retail sales figures. Market's going to be looking for a continued pickup in consumption. Later in the week, we've got industrial manufacturing production figures and trade data. Lots of interest continues to be on the trade figures following Brexit, but manufacturing production remains a key stat in the week.
Meanwhile, what about the commodity currency countries? Anything going on in Canada, Australia or New Zealand?
For the loonie, relatively quiet week, but an important one. So key stats, we're going to be looking at trade figures. The main event of the week, however, is the Bank of Canada monetary policy decision on Wednesday. Obviously, it was a hawkish Bank of Canada last time. This time around, will they maintain their stance and optimism that could provide the loonie further upside? For the Aussie dollar, we've got business and consumer confidence. These remain key areas of focus for the RBA, with both business investment and consumer spending key areas of support needed for the economic recovery. For the Kiwi dollar, we've got business PMI electronic card retail sales figures. Obviously, these are key areas of focus as well. So plenty to consider for the market in the week ahead.
What about Japan and China? Is there anything scheduled to happen in these countries in regards to macroeconomic data?
For the Japanese yen, quiet week really on the economic data front. Finalized GDP numbers for the first quarter. Don't expect too much influence there. BSI large manufacturing index numbers for the second quarter, that will draw some interest. Markets are going to be looking for the Japanese economy to begin churning again as economies reopen. So these would be the main areas of focus. Out of China, we've got inflation and trade data. Obviously, we're expecting a further pickup in inflationary pressure. So key will be trade. How's the Chinese economy progressing as input and output prices surge?
Moving on, is there anything to note in regards to geopolitics?
On the geopolitical risk front, really nothing new to consider, so just need to keep monitoring, obviously, US-China relations and US foreign policy in general. And obviously there's also the Iranian president elections that are approaching. That's on the 18th of June. So just need to keep a track on what's going on. Obviously any risk aversion, and then that should drive dollar support. So nothing really to look out for, but just keep an eye on things.
Thank you, Bob, and we'll see you again next week. Be sure to subscribe to all of our Dukascopy social media platforms. Thank you and goodbye.